What's up, everyone? This is Ben Flanagan, professional runner for Reebok and the Reebok Boston Track Club. Today, I'm going to take you through some foot exercises that are going to be focused on strengthening your arch, improving your mobility in your toes and your ankles so that we can strengthen those ligaments and the surrounding muscles and hopefully prevent any future injuries. So, let's get into it. First things first, get those socks off, get those shoes off. Sorry you're going to have to look at my foot throughout all this, but it's important to be all natural for this one. So that's where you'll want to start. After that, not everyone's going to love doing this, but I personally like to just warm things up by stretching out my toes a bit, stretching out your ankle. If you really want to, you can crack your toes a little bit beforehand and increase that mobility. Obviously, be careful, don't hurt yourself. And then I like to also roll out the arch of my foot using a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, or hard object. Just focus on rolling out the foot for 30 seconds to a minute just to loosen it up before some exercises. But that's a good place to start. All right, to begin, we're going to focus on increasing the mobility in our toes. And that's going to strengthen those small muscles in your foot, strengthen your tendons, your ligaments, so you can really handle a load and offset any increased tension in some other areas of your body. So it's amazing what it could do. First things first, we're going to focus by increasing the mobility of our big toe. So you're going to want to keep all the rest of your toes down and really focus on just independently moving the big toe up and down. Hold the top for about 2 to 3 seconds, bring it back down, and keep doing that over again. This might be really hard at first. If that's the case, you can hold down the rest of your toes to get your body used to that movement, and then as you get better, you can take your hand off and just move that big toe by itself. You want to do this, between 10 to 15 times, 1 to 2 sets. After that, you're going to do the same thing, but with the rest of your toes. So again, to start, if it's easiest, then you have a really hard time lifting these toes up independent of your big toe. You can hold that down. Just focus on lifting these up and trying to spread them out if you can. And again, 10 to 15 reps, 1 to 2 sets. Once you get better, you can let go of that big toe and do that independently. As you get better at this, and you can do each one on your own, if you want to make it more challenging, you can alternate. So big toe, all the rest of your toes. Big toe, the rest of your toes. I know this seems nitty gritty and a little bit silly, but this stuff can really help. Your feet take a beating, huge toll, and strengthening these muscles and improving mobility in your toes can really help you a lot. So give it a try. All right, next up, we're going to focus on strengthening this arch. And how we're going to do that is you're going to start by lifting all your toes up and spreading them out as far as you can, planting them back down, but keeping that arch activated. That tension there, you should be able to feel it, and you want to hold that for about 10 seconds. The arch is going to be shortened a bit. Like I said, you should be able to feel it. And if you touch it, it should be a little bit harder. And you want to keep that tension for about 10 seconds and then relax. Do it all again. Lift all your toes up, spread them out, put them back down, and keep that arch activated. You can hold that from anywhere for 10 to 15 seconds. Do this about 5 to 10 times. And lastly, I like to finish with some ankle mobility and lower leg strengthening. How we're going to do that is you're going to lift your leg off the ground. You're going to focus on just slowly rotating that ankle. You want to use as much range of motion as you can. No rush. About 10 to 15 rotations. If you're doing this right, it actually should get quite difficult around the 15th rotation. You should feel a little bit of fatigue. After you do that one way, you're going to switch. Go 10 to 15 rotations the other way. Nice and slow. Make sure you're, really using as much range of motion as possible. And then lastly, we're going to finish by doing 10 dorsiflexion and plantar flexions, I guess they're called, just to get back into the sagittal plane for those kinesiology majors out there. So we're going to finish with that. And like I said, you should feel a lot of fatigue in your shins and your ankles. This will really help strengthen your ankles and some of the muscles in your lower leg, so that if you roll your ankles or anything like that, you may not have to take as much time off, or it won't end up being a sprain. So give all this a try. The last thing I'll say is once you do this all on one foot, you want to make sure you do it on the other foot and ankle. But hopefully this will, increase the strength of those ligaments and tendons and keep you running healthy and happy. So enjoy, everyone.